in the building. Welcome back. It's your host with the most unique Spiritual Liberal. And we're back to give it to y'all again, raw and uncut. The only way we know it. So everybody, I hope your week has been good. Hope it's been going fine. This week for me has been kind of light work. We got a few things that we wanted to talk about. A few things to get off the chest. Slow news week. So without further ado, let's do what we do. Nostalgia alert. Any of y'all seen that new Xmen 97? Oh, man. Oh, did they do my boy Cyclops right? Did they do him right? Yes, sir. If you haven't seen it, I don't know if you got Disney Plus. If you don't, find a friend, because they doing the X-Men right, man. It feels like it's right where it left off. There's some parts at the end of season 2. I swear this is like straight comic book Wikipedia deep dive right here. Like, I couldn't believe they went there with it. So yeah, I hope y'all get a chance to check this out. It's, again, we talked about the millennial renaissance is upon us. So hopefully we keep getting more. I don't even know if y'all seen this, but they got a Captain America Black Panther game coming out. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link in the bottom for y'all to check that out. That was pretty dope. That thing ain't gonna come out to 2025 though, so who knows how it's gonna look by then. But I mean, graphics look pretty good on PS5, so if this thing's coming out on PS6, it's probably gonna be on par with what we're seeing. So here's hoping. But anyways, let's get into the nitty gritty, y'all. All right, y'all, let me tell you one of my pet peeves. I got a pet peeve. All right, so yeah, I like to check out articles here and there. My forum of choice is typically Reddit. I see some things on there. I click on it and try to get a little bit more information. But what I'm sick of? I'm sick of people telling me to stop reading headlines. Stop reading the headlines, read the article. Stop reading the headlines, read the articles. This is what we always got to hear, right? Why is it when we try to read the article, what do we get bombarded with? Ads upon ads telling us, turn off your ad blocker. Oh, with the subscription, you could get the rest of this article. They only show you a little snippet of the article before they start begging you for money. What has happened to our news outlets? What has happened? Is this really the only way you know how to monetize? And then they want to criticize people for being misinformed on Facebook. Well, maybe that's because those are the only sites that allow you to go there without having to do a subscription. If it's not one of these subscriptions, it's scrolling all the way down in these dumb blogs. These what do they call them? They call them like endless loop, single page loading websites where you gotta scroll and scroll and scroll to get your information. You over here looking at, hey, how do I make egg salad? Oh, you want to make egg salad? Well, let's talk about it. What is egg salad? That will be on there. Oh, egg salad was invented by this person. Oh, egg salad was created during this time period. Oh, well, if you join our blog, maybe, we'll see more interesting recipes like this. You keep scrolling. You're at the bottom. Looks like it's at the end. Oh, there it is. There's the ingredients and directions. So now it's not only, making money off of clicks. No, we don't just making money off of clicks. We make money by how long you're on our page. So let's just have it insanely long, full of fluff for no reason. I'm sick of it. I just want to read the article. Even if I do just skim it, let me be able to skim it. I don't care how you figure it out. If Facebook, Twitter, all these people can figure out how to monetize without blocking content, y'all need to figure that stuff out. This is ridiculous. There's way more scrutiny in other countries than there are in the U.S. as far as how to deliver the news. So I'm gonna need y'all for the news that's actually legitimate. I need y'all Newsweek, AP News. I need places like this to stop putting up a walled garden and actually give us access to the data so we can get informed. You wonder why Americans are so ill-informed, and you're over here blocking the means when we have the internet at this point. Nobody should be having trouble getting actual news, actual facts. And can we also just say, I'm tired of talking about his truth, their truth, her truth. That's an opinion. Let's just call those opinions. There's only the truth. There's lies and the truth. Let's get back to that. Everybody's always scared to just say the facts. I understand perspectives can come into play when you're detailing things. But let's just say what fact is a fact. And let's not say, oh, this is my truth. This is my truth. Let's get it. How about let's survey? Well, if you don't believe me, survey this person. If they have a different opinions, let's get towards the truth. That's where I'm at with it. But I'm just going to leave this. I'm just going to leave this here, y'all. I am honestly just sick and tired of not being able to read these articles. Just let me read the articles. Just let me read them. All right, we're going to move on. All right, y'all. Cancel culture has killed the cat. Or should it be cancel culture has been killed by the cat? Let's talk about it. Now, at this point, this is old hat. This is old news. Everybody and their mama has seen Club Shay Shay cat interview. And you picked and choose, you gleaned what you wanted out of that conversation. Some people, this is their new gospel. Some people, this is proof of Illuminati. Some people say that this has illuminated the gatekeepers in the industry. Some people just say Cat just needed to get another hit. So this was his way by doing his hit job to get attention. And now he's selling out the wazoo. Regardless your feelings on it, he was a catalyst of killing this insipid conversation of cancel culture in the black community. There's one thing that has been tiresome and has been literally taxing my nerves for quite some time. And it's this conversation of cancel culture that was thought up by Republican think tanks and championed by people like the governor of Florida, Sanchez, or what's his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. And the idea of cancel culture came about based on reaction to our own movements. this is what people have missed. People who've been doing wrong has actually been getting the law applied to them. They've been getting justice has been getting served to these offenders in society. We saw the biggest one with R. Kelly. R. Kelly did not fall prey to internet trolls saying he's a molester. These rumors have been out for years. These rumors have been out since I was a kid. Heck, these rumors aren't even rumors when there was actually videotape of this fool doing this. It's just the victims were so young and impressionable, they would take their cases down. But that didn't stop the black community from still listening to R. Kelly, did it? No, it took an actual documentary for everybody to feel guilty about it and say like they never on R. Kelly's side in the first place and they're going to stop listening to his music. That was what it took, right? I mean, the guy literally was calling himself the Pied Piper. And if you looked up the Pied Piper and you saw him wearing the bandana over his eyes, you knew what the Pied Piper was telling. He was telling you from the get-go. But it took that documentary for us to quote-unquote cancel this man. But regardless of that, the fact is he got canceled. He is in jail. Bill Cosby was in jail. A lot of people got exposed during the Me Too era. And this cancel culture conversation is a way for white men to trick the masses into demonizing these folks who are asking for retribution to folks who've been a pariah on society. That's where I have a problem with cancel culture. You have many people like Louis C.K. who got canceled. You have lots of politicians who get canceled for saying the one thing and doing another, or getting caught up in like money scamming games, or being hypocritical on drugs and then they're being on drugs themselves. It's usually attached to people who are doing wrong, who get quote unquote canceled. That being said, why is it that black comedians started taking this mantle? So you started having these other comedians, these white comedians coming out, making these offensive jokes and saying, see, cancel culture is trying to stop me. Cancel culture is trying to stop it. They're trying to affect comedy. They're trying to, sorry about that, y'all. A busted old Subaru is revving its engine because we have to acknowledge how much power that tin can has with its muffler. Yeah. So you have these white comedians making offensive jokes. You have these YouTube commenters making these offensive jokes. All these white boys, and they want to be excused from it. So they just say, well, cancel culture is out of control. Throw in a red herring. They not want to take responsibilities for the actions that they have done. They just want you to attack the people who are asking for retribution. You could do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, but there's consequences to your actions. And these people don't want to be held accountable. So why do we have the black comedians coming to their aid? I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but the black comedians, white comedians too, have acted as if there's some form of collective. They have acted as if they are in their own selves a Blue Lives Matter entity where, hey, you talk about one comic, you talk about all of us. He didn't seem to protect Michael Richards back in the day. They didn't want to get involved with that one. But all of a sudden, when these white boys say something, their mum's the word, or they want to defend these white boys. You got your Dave Chappelle's out there that's defended the comedy. You had all these people who were like latching on to this notion that we got to protect our freedom of speech to make fun of people and punch down. Like, look, I'm not even going on that Dave Chappelle transgender conversation. Yeah, if you think he's, hates trans, or if you don't, whatever. This is not even about Dave Chappelle. This is about all the comics and how they've been responding. You could see it through Seinfeld. Now, Seinfeld's been doing this for years because he likes to cap, or excuse me, I'm not into the new terminology yet, but he likes to cape for every one of the comedians out there and always makes this big umbrella to protect them by saying the comedy should be free of any kind of vices. Don't hold us to this notion or that notion. We should be able to say whatever we want and offend whoever we want. Well, everything has consequences. So you take it to a certain level, there's consequences. And I wish these comedians would, act as such. I mean, Eminem was a clown himself. He would constantly say, for lack of better words, he would say the F word. I guess we, got to bleep that out. The F word constantly. Realized the higher ups like Elton John and them weren't feeling it. Apologize, stop saying it. This man doesn't even say the N word. So he understands that there's a way to crack about people. Like, you punch up, you don't punch down. And there's some races that just need to be ironed out. So I was asking myself, why are they doing this? Why are they protecting their own? Is it gotta protect our own? This notion. White folks don't be caring about these black comedians, or maybe there will be more black sitcoms on TV. But for some reason, they feel like there's a common bond, maybe because they see each other in the clubs and give each other a pound here or there. But you know what really messed that up? Cat Williams. Ever since the Cat Williams episode, we started to see these comics attacking the messenger. So they started off attacking Shannon. But it opened up the floodgates, though. Because it started to talk about Shannon, but then some of them started having shows and their shows get criticized. So their shows get criticized for not being funny by another comic. So then they're going at it. Some people get called, their shows called mild, and then they're at it. So now you having like hip hop beef amongst all these comedians, and I'm all here for it. Because they could have had just common unity and being down with the black community when we were in need, and fighting this notion of cancel culture where it should be F around and find out. That's what cancel culture is. F around and find out. And I guess now they're finding out that they're going to hurt their own money by trashing each other left and right, because like they ain't got no sense. Trash is Shannon just for being the messenger. He's just there. What is the gain? The ultimate gain of that? But I'm here with the popcorn, y'all. I'm watching all of them, come for each other's throats, and it's just crazy. You see another black man that's successful, and we have to tear him down. It was more surprising for people like D.L. Hughley, who's all pro-black, and he usually is with the issues. But him calling, Shannon, Wendy Williams with a weight set. Like, what are we doing here? We always trash the people with success. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that to our own? Instead of building up them. Like, this man has just made like a very powerful platform. I mean, you started off with the smaller platforms like Nori's. I mean, Breakfast Club's been around for a minute, so they've been putting people on. But then you had Drink Champs come along. It did what it did. It's still doing what it does. You got Math Hoffa, shout out to him, doing what they're doing, putting folks on and giving folks their flowers who've been, time has forgotten about, letting us get a little bit, a glimpse into their lives and their way of thinking. I am all for these types of venues. So Shannon doing the same thing, but having somebody say something that you don't like, I don't feel like he should get attacked for that. He's providing entertainment. He's providing a venue for folks who don't usually get shine to go out there, and that's important for us as a Black community. There's other folks who are doing the same thing, and I wanted to see that continue instead of all this vitriol over over each other and blaming cancel culture for why you ain't doing good. Cancel culture isn't the bee's knees for get your acting career or your comic career in a better place. Let's find some better things. Just make people laugh. What happened to that? They all want to sit on a soapbox. Everybody want to be Dave Chappelle now and try to drop gems on us. Like, these all Hotep dudes. All these Hotep brothers trying to kick knowledge need to kick rocks. Okay? Pick up a book and read it. Most of them don't even know what they're talking about half the time. They're just talking out the side of their mouths. These are the same people who will be like, oh, the earth's flat. They'll be the same ones. And they want to kick some knowledge to us and talk trash. I just wish they would read a book and see what's going on with this whole cancel culture conversation. I know, we're not going to belinger this too much, but I mean, it just, if you have your eyes open, you see that the BLM movement was massive. And then you seen how they dismantled it by talking about one entity that bought a house or something, whatever. It wasn't even about that organization. It was a movement amongst our people that got white folks paying attention to us. Whether you like the phrase allies or not, it showed that we are powerful together. And there's more of us, like-minded individuals, than there are of those hateful folks. That's what it showed me. Or we still have Trump as president. And we need to keep that in mind when we're over here having our people of influence endorsing Trump, standing by Trump, buying his shoes and stuff like that. We need to remember there are coons out here that are all for tap dancing for the master just so they can get a couple more pennies. Just so they can get a little bit more pennies, or maybe open another door over here. So we're going to go tap dance like Kanye West. Y'all can try. Oh, good luck to you. But I'm going to be for my people. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm coming off the wrong way. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Man weave. Let's talk about it. Hollywood's dark secret. Let's talk about man weave. Some of y'all might not know what I'm talking about, but others, y'all follow where I'm going with this. There's been many of people over the years that have been accused of having redone hairlines. A few that come to mind are your Jamie Foxx, your LeBron James, And yeah, it is like a little untalked about secret amongst the Black Hollywood elite about these hair pieces, these units, as they're called. And while we're talking about this, we're not trying to shame anybody. We don't do that here. What we're just trying to do is trying to understand how we're come so far to just accept men wearing weave on their head when we had exhibited such fierce criticism of women, still to this day, but from the 80s, 90s mostly, 2000 and up, women have been lambasted, joked about wearing weave, about not being real, not being authentic, having Indian hair, the jokes about snatching weaves and this and that out of people's heads. That's just a colloquial conversation that we have in the Black community. And, you have songs where the DJ may shout out, like, if you got your real hair, so you have all these notions. One of the biggest criticisms that went on back in the day was when we all watched Martin go head to head with Pam. And a lot of the conversations dealt with the hair texture that Pam had. She was known as Buckshots, BDB. You had your jokes like, it's un-be-weavable. We don't beweave you. I can't believe it. And so on and so on. You had these conversations about women's hair. But somehow, this is all kind of just went under wraps for men. And I think it's because it's not discussed. What we do discuss is black don't crack. And while most of us subscribe to this notion, I started finding a problem with the black don't crack issue as I've become of age. So, for everybody just to know, full discretion, I'm 40 years old, okay? And once you hit a certain age of like post 30s, you start noticing grays pop up left and right. You might start thinning in certain parts of your head. You might start seeing your friends even shave their head bald because it comes for you. But there's a couple of folks who seem to be like Hollywood's black vampires. You have Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. Pretty much, you could name pretty much any Hollywood black man, and they could be 50 plus, and they have jet black hair, perfect edge lines, no gray on their mustaches. There's only a few folks who accept the gray, a very few select folks, but the majority of them in Hollywood, and maybe this is required for when you're doing movies and TV. I've only seen Will Smith personally show himself when he isn't filming having old man hair. So, I mean, at least you could give him credit for showing that he is indeed an old man. But there's this notion that you have to look eternally young in the black community, and you cannot show baldness, which is ironic because in the 90s, people were literally cutting their hair off to look bald. Were there some people who might have like pattern baldness? Sure. Michael Jordan has been talked about like he was going bald, so that's why he shaved his head off. Same for LL. But there was lots of cats during that time. And even if there wasn't, there was those two individuals, off the strength of how popular they were, caused a lot of younger cats to cut their hair bald. I mean, you had, Tupac was bald. You had DMX. Of course, he was a lot older, but he was bald. The bald head look was a thing. But it seems like we don't want to do that when our hair starts to tell us it ain't working anymore, bro. We want to hang on and hold on as if we still 20 years old in our prime. So we got to get these hair units. Have y'all seen this? Y'all seen these things? You literally get this thing that looks like somebody just shaved the back off of an alley cat. Put it on top of your head. Now, y'all, I am trying not to be judgmental, y'all, because, hey, who knows? Maybe I'll be one of the ones wearing it. But, like, let's be real. Like, what they do is they shave the top of your head off. Clean bald. Bald is a cue ball. And they lather it with glue. So, I don't know if y'all remember that one story of that girl who glued weave on her head and got stuck. She did super glue, but this is probably why she did this, because she knew that to apply hair, they use a certain glue, and she just didn't have the right glue. But yeah, they literally put some kind of epoxy on top of your head, clogging up your pores, and then they slapped this hair unit, toupee, wig, weave on top of the head and style it as if it's the real thing. So you could probably see this. You could probably see this if you go to any YouTube channel or anything like that. The funny thing is, I saw an article, y'all, about man weave on NPR, of all places. So apparently in 2017, the author Makita Peters tried to bring it to light in a positive way. For y'all, the article's called Man Weaves, Offer Covering for Bald Men, Cash for Black Hair Care Industry. And I'll leave a link below so y'all can check it out. But essentially, it goes into how a lot of these men had low self-esteem, and then this is a way to help fix that. It makes them feel whole. Everybody knows if you have issues with your hair, that this could be a nice way to feel more confident about yourself. I mean, this is probably really good for folks who have like alopecia and don't want to have to shave their head. Like, this might be like a nice in between that you could do to make yourself look the typical standard Black American look. All I'm just getting at is, again, I'm not trying to shame these brothers that do this. It's just I'm wondering why they're not getting shamed by others, because, again, for decades, Black women have been mocked and made fun of for wearing extensions and weaves, even though there's lots of other ethnicities that do it. It's just we're not in that community, so we don't see how they're doing it. But there are a lot of white folks who do have extensions in their hair to make their hair look long, since everybody tends to like the long straight hair look. And I just think it's messed up that, to this day, we say, man, and get that weave at your head, Black woman, be real, be natural, this, that, the other. And in the same instance, you over there rocking a 360 waves when you got a toupee on. Like, make it make sense. There's people out here that have like the comb twists, and it's not even their hair. Like, they just got something slapped on top of their head. Like, let's make it make sense. I will say that this is kind of nice though, in that it's men are getting hair care provided for them the same as women. So it is nice that, you know, there's more to a man's look now. Like a man could do more to do better upkeep than they could before. So it is nice that that's offered. It'd be nice if it was like also that the hair was being provided by the African American community, Black community itself. I don't know any specifics on that, on who's selling these man units. I still assume it's probably Korea, as they have a big market on weave as is. But yeah, I just wanted to discuss that. What do y'all think about these man weaves? Leave a comment below and let me know. This is Neek, the Spiritual Liberal, signing off. Continue being your beautiful, loving selves, and remember to think Neek. Catch you in the next one.